G'day folks, back at the cabin this week. Just there for one night, so I didn't get out at the snares or anything, but had a couple of projects. I brought up that shelf you saw me do in the previous video. Got to get that installed in the laundry room in there now, and I'll show you that when I get to that process. But yeah, the title of the video is talking about wood stoves. Now, I'm not one of the fellows that are out in the hot tents spending overnight with little camp stoves and stuff. I'm not geared up for that stuff, not yet anyway. So, but yeah, I did go out and buy myself a stove at Princess Auto, and just show you that here now in a second. But basically, I don't have a hot tent or anything, but I want a little wood stove for my shed. Okay, it's not a big shed, you know, 10 by 12 or so, but there's no stove in it now, and there's no electricity in it. So I thought it'd be nice just to put a wood stove in there and, you know, just go out and light the fire, boil the kettle or whatever. So that's what I plan to do. So I picked up this little baby, and I'll show you here now. This is the Red Mountain Valley Camp Wood Stove. See it here. Now folks, the stove that you see here in the picture is not actually the stove that I ended up with. I went to Princess Auto, bought a stove, and then I put it in the box of truck. Never thought no more of it. Came back to the cabin and realized as soon as I took it out of the box here in this video that I had got the wrong stove. I had purchased this other stove that I'll show you in a few minutes, but by mistake they gave me the wrong stove out of inventory. So I went back, took the stove back, and eventually I got the right stove, and you can see it here in the video. So yeah, this first stove is not the right stove, so I ended up with the right stove afterwards. Welcome back folks. There's been a few weeks actually since the first part of the video that you just saw. We had lots of snow on the ground when I bought that original stove, but today I got the right stove. I finally turned the jigs and the reels, back to Princess Auto. They had to order it in for me. So I do have the correct stove now. It's from Red Mountain Valley, but it's a small square wood stove, which is the one that I wanted. And that's going to go into my shed. And just give you a little close-up of the stove here itself. Show you that it's got 5 lengths of pipe, it's square, it's detachable legs. Or actually, I got to put the legs on there basically to install it. It's not a small enough It's not a small, guys, that you're going to be taking on your camping trips in your hot tenting. It's a little bit bigger than that. I want it for my shed, which is why I'm going this route. Okay, so I'm going to get this apart here now and set it up outside because we got to do a burn-in for it. And I got something special planned for the burn-in later today. I got to cook something on it, of course, but I got a special guest show up help me with the burn-in. So right now I'm going to set you up on some slow motion capture, and we'll put this thing together and see and get it done. So, all right, folks. So stay tuned. Okay, so folks, got it out of the box. That's the main fire box. 5 pieces of stovepipe, and these are steel, guys. These are not. This is not aluminum or anything. 4 legs. That's the adapter for the firebox. Goes on there. A poker, ash scraper, and a bunch of screws. So some assembly required, and I knew that starting off anyway. So I'm gonna put this together now, guys. So yeah, it's got a fairly large firebox. See that when we get it burned in, but looks good. So all the parts are there. We're gonna get together now, put this back together, and we'll get it done. All right, guys, stay tuned. So folks, I got the 4 legs in position right now. Just going to tighten these bolts up. Bit of paint on the threads, of course, makes it a bit difficult, and trying to work. It's a bit chilly like this, not that great, but we will manage. A pair of cotton gloves goes a long ways for this stuff, guys, I gotta say. So guys, let me get these legs tightened up and we'll get back to you. Stay tuned, folks. Okay guys, we got the 4 legs on there, no problem. Once I found the screws, they went on the floor, on the ground there, and I stepped on them. And where did my screws go? Anyway, found them. So now we have to put the instructions in there, guys. The flue attachment to to the unit there. And what I see in the instructions, make sure I got this right. Yeah, okay. The stovepipe should fit over that, like that. So, and the threads are in here for that. So this should come up like that, and the stovepipe go down on top of that. So that's the next step. So let me get my gloves off here so I can manipulate a few screws or bolts or whatever these are, and we get this put in place. And I don't want to make them all bar tight yet till I get them all lined up in place there. This one doesn't want to go in there very well. Let's see. There we go. Put it up here. It's a bit chilly, guys. Chilly bit at this, but obviously we'll get that fire going in the stove. It won't be chilly. At least it'll be, when I get it in my shed, it won't be chilly. Won't be doing the shed today, guys. We're just doing the burn-in, basically. Get all the chemicals and whatever's on the stove burned off, and I don't want to do that in the shed. Doing that outside today, and that's what the plan is. So once I get this put together now, like I said, I got a special guest with us today, and we're going to burn in the stove with something different, I'll say, and that's all I need. That's all I'm gonna leave you with right now. So guys, we got this put in, this together, and that's about it. I think I'll have to tighten up something to tighten or slacken the drafters if I want to. But this stove has two drafters, one on top and bottom. Slacken it up so you can open it up fully like so, or close it off. And two drafters. So yeah, and the handle. Wish the handle was a little bit longer, but excuse me. We'll take care of that. Probably put an attachment on that, a ring or something later on. So anyway, yeah. So we got that's about together now, guys, and we'll get her set up. Now, folks, this is going to be the eventual setup of the stove in the shed. I got to put some fireproof stuff behind it, no problem, and I got to clear up some of the stuff there, make sure everything's out of the way. But it's going to go up through the roof, and I thought about this, and I knew about this anyway. There's not enough stovepipe to reach out to the roof, but I can buy extra stovepipe for this device, no problem. This stove. And I'll get that before. I'm not putting it in the shed today. We're just simply going to do a burn-in outside, get all the chemicals off it, and so on. So that is the plan for the stove today. But yeah, this is where it's going to go, so I'm excited about that. Like I said, guys, I don't have enough stovepipe here right now. I'm going to get a couple more pieces, and we'll when we later on now we'll get a hole cut for that in a future video. And we'll get her put in place. Anyway, looks good, guys. I like it so far. Anyway, let's take it back outside now and get it ready to burn in. So, guys, there's a nice firebox. You can put I think it says 2-foot junk in there. 16 inches would be plenty. I've heard some reviews about this gasket coming off, and I prepared for that. I got some gasket glue to go on there if that comes off. Right now, it seems pretty stable. I wish the handle was a little bit longer, and I might just do that. Get a piece of metal put on there so I can more easily move that handle. Right now, to get that handle, I gotta put my hand basically on the stove. So that will be it. Anyway, guys, we will get her lit up. Welcome back, guys. I mentioned we got a special guest here. I got two special guests actually. This is Darrell from Smoothin Outdoors, and Darrell spelled the same as me. So I do have a brother-in-law, Darrell, and a brother, Darrell, I guess.
That gets real old real fast.
Yeah, I know. We've been 30 years at this, but anyway. This is Darrell's wife, Darla. She's from Bay Spear too. Kudos.
Shout out.
Shout out to Bay Spear, exactly. Anyway, guys, I mentioned we got a special guest here today. These are Darrell and Darrell here today. We're going to burn in this wood stove, but I wanted to do something different, and I'm going to get Darrell to light the fire in the wood stove today. And he's going to use his bushcraft techniques to light a fire for us today. He's going to use the bowl drill method. And we hope it works. If not, I got a butane lighter in my pocket as backup.
No pressure.
Now Darrell's making some feather sticks here now. Some dry wood again from Bay Spear. Thanks, Dad. So yeah, we should be good. So if it fails, I'm going to blame him. If it works, great video.
Is that what we signed up for, huh?
Anyway, you can see by the stove, there's not enough stovepipe to reach my roof, but so I got to order 2 more pieces of stovepipe. I know I can get them, no problem. But I just want to get it burned in today, get the chemicals burned off it, and we're going to cook something afterwards for sure. Anyway, folks, stay tuned.
So that's my hearth board. And again, I want my hearth board big enough that I can get my foot on it, so that this side is going to be compromised because my toe is on it. But then I can still drill along here. So now that I've got my notch made, my next step now, I need to start to burn in my notch, burn in my divot hole, so that I can start to cut my V-notch. So I'm going to use the same wedge that I cut the splits with. It's already got a nice little divot hole in it. The bearing block is going to be the hardest thing to produce off nature. So if you're carrying something like this, some people will have a bearing block in their knife. I have mine here. I can see smoke. I can see dust. Now's not the time to go at it. My notch is starting to burn in, or my divot has started to burn in. I've got my notch cut, some grooves on the back, and then down here on the floor, I've cleaned it up as best I can. But I'm going to lay down a piece of birch bark, and we'll call this a welcome mat, so that my ember is going to collect on top of that. Once my ember's burning, I can gently take this off, and I have my ember here that I can then transfer into my tinder bundle. So what I need to do right now is just build up dust. I can't start an ember if I don't have dust. So at this point, it's just slow and steady. I'm putting dust down that hole, down that notch. Using the full length of the bow. I want to see if I'm getting dust on the top of the hearth board, because that's bad, that's wasting. So it's not bad to stop and have a look. I'm getting a little bit of dust on the top of my hearth board. I'm starting to shoulder out a little bit. I think my notch is about full. I'm going to pick up the speed, pick up the pressure. and I'm going to count to 40. If my bow starts slipping, I'm going to tighten the string with my thumb. Now, no rush, don't panic. I'm going to slowly lift my foot. Keep my spindle dry. I got some dust on the top, I want to save that. Get that back in the pile. We have an ember. I want to keep all of this dry. Let that cook for a second. There's no rush. I want that to congeal. We definitely got a good ember. She's got a bit of a cherry on top. I got lots of dust. Now, I want to bring my bundle to my ember. Don't drop it. Get all the dust. Let that congeal again. Now the wind is in my favor a little bit now. And that's how you light a wood stove.
You want me to hold it for you?
No, no.
Oh, you got it. Come in there quick.
Burn off the chemicals on the coating, of course, and then we're going to put the kettle on. And I think, Darrell, we might even have a little feed, will we?
I think there's some wieners in the fridge.
There's wieners, and there's going to be a bit of beans and bologna for sure. But yeah, I want to thank Smoothin It Outdoors, Darrell, my brother-in-law. Go check out his channel, folks. I'll put the links in the description, of course. You see all that. But yeah, if you want to see how you do some real survival stuff with fires and cooking out in the open fire and hot tenting and camping, summer camping, go to check out their channel for sure. You won't be disappointed, folks. Well, this is working out well. We have a bowl drill fire in a wood stove. Sounds a bit of ironic, but nonetheless, we got her going. I'm gonna just see now how well this thing draws. I gotta replace the handle on this, guys. This handle is way too short, so I'm gonna get a new piece of metal, put on that. There's no way you'll be able to hold that if the fire gets going in that wood stove like that. So yeah, let's let this burn up now and burn the chemicals off. All right, guys, so bring you back when we're blowing the kettle. So what we got done to go today, dear?
We got some bushes, big beans heating up now for that lunch.
Just whack the can on there, the kettle's almost done. Look over in the corner, boys. Keep one of them blowing up. Boy, son's gonna be some feed. What the hell I got there?
Got some smokies, buddy.
Smokies, oh my god.
Quick feed a minute.
Look at the smoke coming out there. All that shit is burned after now. Yep, good stuff. Alright guys, we're gonna have a little lunch and we'll see you next one. Finish the other one. Oh baby. Oh boy. Delicious.
Ready for that?
Give her a flip there, Darrell. See how she makes it.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look. Won't take that long to cook.